Hello. I've been watching a lot of miniature steam traction engine videos on YouTube, very nice videos. That has given me the inspiration to make a video of one of my steam engines, my steam traction engines. I've built a number of them over the years. Today I'm gonna run the smallest one that I've built. It's a Birdsell steam engine, and it's pictured right there. Plans were developed by measuring up the actual engine at an engine show in Rolog, Minnesota, many years ago. And this Birdsell steam traction engine I thought was quite unique, and it's also one of the smallest that I've ever built. For comparison, this is a Minneapolis steam traction engine that I built also many years ago, and I know a little bit more about this one because they're more common. This is a 2266 Minneapolis steam traction engine. It was a 1914 model, I believe, and the 2266 means that the engine would produce 66 horsepower on the flywheel and 22 horsepower on the drawbar. So I'm going to set this one aside for now. There's some pretty, I think, unique aspects of this little Birdsell steam engine. One of them being is that the steering in the front is an automobile style steering. I don't know how to position this just right, but as you can see, the wheels turn like an automobile on spindles, versus most of the other American-made steam traction engines had the typical solid axle wagon wheel, wagon type steering front. Another interesting fact about the Birdsell is it doesn't have a clutch. You'd actually stop the engine and you would engage the gears and then start the engine again. So it was direct drive when it was engaged. Where most of the other American steam traction engines had an expanding clutch on the inside of the flywheel that would engage the turning flywheel and then transfer the engine to the rear wheels. Also, instead of using spur gears to transfer the power from the engine to the drive wheels, this engine uses a drive shaft, and in the back it had a set of beveled gears. Now, when I built this engine, I didn't have the capabilities of cutting a bevel gear, so I made this little right angle gear instead, which is basically at the same scale but a different type of gearing. The engine runs on propane. There's a little tank right here, and then a little valve to control the flame. On the bottom side you can see the torch. It has a little torch. It has an insert copper boiler with some superheating tubes and so forth on the inside. And I'll start the engine now. This is the fill pipe and the pressure release valve. putting about a cubic inch of water in the boiler. That should be enough water to run the engine for a while. My goal is to start the engine up and run it on the workbench, and then I'll stop it and take it outside, engage the gears, and run it on the driveway. So that's my plan anyway. When I turn the valve on, you'll be able to hear the gas, probably. Okay, so the little torch is lit now, and the engine is heating up. The burner is simply components from one of these little butane pencil torches. I use the tip and the fill end. This is the fill end right here in this little square tank, and I make a little valve. The torch is underneath. So it'll take a little while for the engine to heat up, but not very long. This Flywheel Governor is just for appearance. It doesn't do anything. You actually control the engine speed by adjusting the little butane valve right here on the tank. And the gas line runs down underneath the operator's platform. Try to provide a little more detail of the engine here by moving my camera around. The engine had a little reversing mechanism on the shaft, which I was not able to build because the parts would have been so small. It would just be beyond my capabilities. Well, here goes the engine. It's running now. Okay, as I mentioned before, the engine doesn't have a clutch. What the operator would do would be stop the engine and then move this shaft ahead so the gears would engage, and then start the engine, and it would be direct drive at that point. So I think it's run long enough to show you. I'm going to shut it down now, and I'm going to move it outside to my driveway. So I'll just turn the engine off here. Turn the torch off temporarily, and you can see it spins down pretty quick. Okay, here I am outside. I've got the engine back on, or I should say the torch back on. Got the engine up on a little block of wood so the wheel can turn. The actual engine had a little differential on the one bolt gear on the left side of the engine. Again, I didn't make that because the parts would have been so small. But let's set it down and see how she goes. Well, the problem I'm having is it's kind of windy out here today, and the wind is blowing the torch out. And it just blew out again. Well, that's it. We're out of water or fuel. I think it's fuel and water.